a lot of times when we ask people if they have a process, they say, sure, we've got a process. And we might have them describe that process. And it'll be something usually like, well, first we set an appointment. Then we do a demo. And then we qualify. And then we write up a proposal, and then we close. That's our process. And we say, okay, let's look at that process a little bit. Is that really a process? Is that something that's going to get them from taking a prospect, taking a lead, and taking them all the way to close? Or are those just steps that they've identified that have to happen? I mean, sure, when you dissect that, you find that if each one of those things happen, you'll have a close. But how do you get them to happen? So a process that's a good process should be one that leads to the close, not just one that might be a step that you find along the way, a mile marker that you might happen to pass on your way by. It has to be something that will actually lead you there. Take something, for example, when you look at, you set an appointment, then you do a demo, or you're trying to qualify the prospect right away. Well, what about them? What about their need? And what if you're qualifying right away? And there are a lot of sales methodologies out there that teach qualifying before they teach finding a compelling need. And they think that, well, it's better if you're talking with the right person right away. It's better that you've qualified, that they're the decision maker. So imagine what that sounds like. Hey, nice to meet you. So glad you were interested in our product. So are you the decision maker on this? And do you guys have enough budget for this? And you're asking all kinds of questions that can be out of sequence. On the one hand, it can be insulting to them to feel that way. But on the other hand, think of it if you did it the other way. Think of no matter who they are, if you address the compelling reason first and find out why is this so important for them to do. Aren't they going to be in a position where they're now going to help you qualify it? Aren't they going to be in a position where we're going to get you to the decision maker because you've uncovered a way in which they want to get this done? Think about when you're at a cocktail party and you go up and you talk to somebody. Are you saying, so, nice to meet you, what do you do? How much money do you make? You know, you're limiting your questions. Isn't it better when you're talking to somebody in a social environment like that to get to know them a little bit first, to make them feel like they're important, to understand who that person is before you start asking all kinds of complicated qualifying questions of, is this somebody that I really want to talk to? That kind of thing would be insulting. And the same is true of a prospect. You really want to have the right conversation, and you want to do it in the right order. And you can't just take an overly simplistic view of, here are the steps that we're trying to pass on our way to closing, and therefore that represents a process, because it really probably doesn't, and you may need to dig a lot deeper into that process to get at what will really work.